Miss Philippines Earth version of Man on the Street. My name is Gianna Lianes. I am your Miss Philippines Water 2020.
Hey guys, it's true. Time flies so fast and we're having fun. And unfortunately, this is our last episode. This is Patricia Santos, your Miss Philippines Air 2020, and we are glad to present to you our final episode for Man on the Street, Miss Philippines Earth Style.
Yes, I mean, we've talked about so many things in the past few episodes, from the COVID-19 vaccine to becoming plantitos of plantitas and coping with the entire lockdown situation again. There were so many topics discussed because, as we always mention here at Miss Philippines Earth, it is so important for us to be generating discussions with all of you. So throughout this episode as well, please do continue to comment on this post, on this video, like and share it with your friends and family, and start a conversation too. Now, today we're actually going to be talking about ways to live more sustainably at home, and this is so important because we are spending most of our time at our homes. And yeah, we're just hyped to hear what everybody has to say.
That's so true. And tonight, I'm very excited to share that we have a lot of people coming in for a final episode. And I'm sure that the questions will be able to inspire a lot of you to do your own thing at home to live a more sustainable life. So I won't let you guys wait any longer. Let's go to our first question. But of course, don't forget that all safety protocols were observed in the making of these videos. And please do not forget to comment down in the comment section below your opinion and also your own answers to the following questions so that you may also share your own experience about living a sustainable life. So back to our first question. Our first question is, do you use alternative energy sources such as wind and solar?
Hi, it's Tin, your solar queen. So of course I do. I actually have this solar light bulb which I just place on a stand and then place it on my desk so I can use it when I'm working or reading or doing other things on my desk. So it's actually charged via solar panel, which I'm quite sure most of you have seen during my stint last year in the Philippines Earth. So it's actually just a small step in energy saving at the house. But the thing that I'm looking at, or the next step that I'm looking at, is actually investing in a mobile generator which you can charge via solar panels. So at least some of our devices or appliances, instead of being charged or using the grid, which burns natural resources, we can rely on solar instead. So that's one of the small steps we're doing right now to protect Mother Earth in small ways at home.
Yay, solar queen!
How exciting to see one of our very own, she was our batchmate during Miss Philippines Earth 2020, Justine Ortega. Thank you for that incredible answer. And we do know her as our solar queen. She has experience with it. But I love how she's always talking about just spreading the word about the benefits of solar energy. Now, I also saw a post on Facebook just this past week on how someone's electricity bill was so little, to the 300 pesos because of solar energy. And I feel like not only is solar power sustainable and wind power sustainable, but it'll also save us a lot of big bucks too. So I think that's something we all have to look into.
Yeah, and the myth that solar power in your home or in your house is too expensive is actually not true. There are a lot of different ways, a lot of different suppliers out there in the market right now. In fact, I know that our solar queen works for a very reliable solar company. So you guys better go and check out the different options that you have out there and do your part to reduce whatever carbon footprint you have in this planet.
Yeah,
What about our next question?
Let's get to our next question. How green are your products that you use at home? I'd love to hear everybody's answer.
Hi, I'm Robin Dumdum, and I'll be answering your question on how green are your products you use at home. To be honest, it's not easy to completely choose green products at home, but I believe step by step we're going there. In this pandemic, we have alternative how to use green products at home. We have shampoo bars, tumblers, eco bags, recycle bins, and food compost. Even decorating your own room using your plants.
Aw, she's so pretty. And I love hearing her speak as well. I love her first statement saying that it's honestly not the easiest to go green in our own homes. So, of course, we have to do research with it. But also for me, I'm from Mandaluyong. We're known as the Tiger City. There's a lot of companies and businesses here. What I always said, even during the beginning of our reign, is something that I hope that businesses can look into is being more sustainable so that these sustainable products, sustainable packaging even, is just more accessible to the general Filipino public. So I feel like even something as small as looking at the labels of the things that we buy and making sure that they're recyclable, that they're green, that they're biodegradable will make a huge difference. And that's really how we start using green products at our home. I love how the person answering was talking about even small things like using tumblers, reusing our utensils. I think that's a great way to start.
That's so true. As I was listening to what you were saying, there was like a ping in my mind when you said about sustainable packaging. I just want to zero in on that because recently we have 5.5, right? So Shopee, Lazada, everybody's online, everybody's shopping, and unfortunately, I've been seeing a large increase in plastic being used for packaging and everything that goes on with this online shopping. And I hope that people would realize, maybe somebody can influence Shopee and Lazada. Maybe we can do it together and tell them that we would very much like for them to listen to us and provide sustainable options. Maybe stop using so much plastic. The bubble wraps. My God, if you've seen the amount of packaging I've seen, you would also be shocked and disappointed. But I hope that we can get to a point in our industry, especially in the shopping industry, that they would be able to find alternatives. Anyway, let's go to our next question because I'm very interested if the common earthling or our usual earthlings have this in their lifestyle. And the question goes like this: have you already set reduction goals in your life?
Hi everyone, this is Gab from SunSmart and I am currently your Miss Tourism Ambassador Universe 2019. So the question I got is, have you already set your reduction goals? So my answer will be yes. And slowly we're trying to reduce our energy consumption through turning off the lights whenever unnecessary, staying in one room when we open the aircon instead of turning on more aircons. The real goal is to lower our bill by at least 40%. So that's all. Thanks.
Pretty clever, huh? I mean, for me, I think, aside from the fact that she's obviously very gorgeous, I love the fact that her earthlings are also pretty tonight, no? And I have to say, she was pretty smart with that. I think that a majority of the Filipinos could actually turn their eyes into their energy efficiency in their households, because I think that's one of the things that we currently fail, or sometimes, maybe not, the word is not fail, but overlook. I think that a lot of us really are very much dependent on our appliances, and whenever we buy appliances, we tend to not think about the technical part of it, if whether or not what we're buying is truly green, and therefore very much affects our carbon footprint or our reduction goals at home. So I think that's very smart of her, and I think we all need to take a page out of her book and try to see how is our energy consumption, and maybe we can reduce that at home. How about you, G?
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that. I love how she said they're trying to reduce, even just turning off the lights makes a huge difference. Something I always spoke about is there's this thing called energy vampires. When we keep our appliances plugged, even though we're not using them, that still consumes energy. It still increases our electricity bills. So it's just being mindful of the little things and making your small efforts. And we actually have somebody else answering that question as well. So let's check out our next video.
Have you already set your reduction goals? Yes, I have already set my reduction goals by simply putting off the lights and the other appliances whenever they are not in use. Another is reducing water use every time you do the laundry and dishwashing. Save water as much as possible. Thank you.
Yeah, Yeah, so again, it's just doing the little things at home. I love how he mentioned he's reducing his water consumption too, because last year we did struggle with water provisions in our households. The Angat Dam water levels were going lower than regular water levels. So, we weren't getting the cleanest of water. Some people didn't have access to it. And now that we're at home, of course, we're washing our hands more, we're taking showers more to fight the COVID-19 pandemic. So we just have to be mindful of how much water we use, because even if we feel like we're just one person, we're just one household, ultimately it's going to affect everybody if everybody's not being mindful. So it's, again, as I mentioned earlier, it's doing the little things at home. I mean, cutting down your shower time from 15 minutes to 5 minutes just to reduce your water consumption will really make a huge difference.
Yeah, I cannot agree more. I feel that water consumption, or water preservation and conservation is also something that we have to think about. The Philippines passed a very beautiful law called the Clean Water Act, but unfortunately, we have not really felt the effect that we would have if the law is being enforced the right way. So I think I would like just to remind everybody to be a little bit more thankful that we live, a lot of you are watching right now, maybe are living in urban cities wherein you're able to have easy access to clean and potable water. But in a lot of areas, like for me, I'm from Bicol, a lot of the rural areas actually lack that. Simple access to clean and potable water is actually a treasure. And that the same thing goes for other parts in the world. So I hope that we Filipinos will learn to treasure it, since we are island people. And I hope that we finally, find our way to not just conserving, but also recycling water, especially at home, right? I mean, I think I've said this many times before. In our house, we don't, we do everything that's necessary to recycle. And we've been trying to figure out how to recycle rainwater. We haven't succeeded, but it's one of the things that I think we really need to think about. Anyway, let's go
Let's get to our next question. So our next question is asking, are you tracking, reporting, and reducing your energy and water use?
Yes, we can smartly track our report, reduce energy consumptions, savings, and efficiency through AI application, anytime and anywhere, through our mobile phone, laptop, or tablet. Renewable energy even got smarter with this digital application.
Another cutie!
Yeah, sobrang fresh ng mga Earthlings natin today. That's all I have to say. And I love how they're really answering with a smile on their face, because it shows how excited they are in going green as well and living sustainably from home. And, this is when we realize that the technology that we have access to can actually be used for good and to help out our environment. So she talked about, applications that we can use to track our energy and water use, and then finding ways to reduce it. I feel like that's very smart, and that's something that can even start with the youth right now, because we do have that responsibility to our future, of course, to protect our environment. I mean, we also have our new ecosystem app, which we're going to be talking about later, that will be helping out with this as well, and how we can live sustainably from our own homes, how we can proclaim the word to our peers, and how we can research more on how to save the environment. So I love the mention of technology in her answer.
That's so true. And let's find out how another Earthling is doing this, tracking their consumption through this video.
Hi Earthlings! Magandang araw, mabuhay! Ako nga pala si Antoinette Kakayan from Puerto Princesa City, Palawan. I have been a great fan of Miss Earth Philippines, and it teaches me many things, lalong-lalo na sa pag-conserve ng ating environment. One of it is tracking, reporting, and reducing the water or energy use. In terms of reducing the use of energy, there are two things that I really learned. First thing is to unplug unused appliances. The second one is to, if you have any budget, you could always use a solar panel, because it really helps us when it comes to brownout, and it saves a lot of money. In reducing the use of water, Yung simple thing na ginagawa ko is, tuwing nagsasaing ako, imbis na itapon ko yung tubig na pinahugasan ko, I will always use it to water the plants. Yun yung lagi sinasabi sa akin ni nanay para ma-conserve natin yung water and as well as help the environment. That's it, Earthlings! I hope you learned something, so we should always remember our micro health could have a macro effect. Thank you!
Wala, fresh talaga sila dito ngayon, itong mga Earthlings natin, no? And I have to say that I love the fact that she's sharing with us the tips or, how she learned how to conserve and to protect our environment through her mom, no? Kasi malapit na ang Mother's Day and of course, plug ko na rin our Mother's Day special. But yeah, guys, I think that it's important for us to learn a lot from our parents. Learn from them because sila talaga yung marami sa mga parents natin yung matagal na sa planetang to. So of course, they have learned a lot of the nifty tips and tricks on how to track their own consumption. So as you're doing your chores, as you're doing everything in your house, hindi lang siya just doing it, diba? She shared you're actually tracking everything as you're going about with your everyday chores. So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting way, and I think that everybody is actually doing it right now without even realizing that they're doing it. No.
Yes, I completely agree with that. I mean, even though we say it starts with the youth, of course, these practices we learn from the people around us, like our parents. So I love her mention of her mom as well. So why don't you give us the last question that we'll be asking our Earthlings?
That's right. And this last question is actually something that we hope to leave a lasting impression on everybody, because I think that at this point, when everything that has been happening, this is so important for all of us. So the question, or rather the request is, give us some tips on how to live a more sustainable life.
Hello everyone, my name is Arjo Palanas from the province of Masbate. Here are some tips to live more sustainable lifestyle. First, we have to be fit. We have to do exercise every day. And instead of riding a motorcycle, we have to do walking or jogging. Secondly, we have to do 3 R's. We have to recycle and reuse things instead of throwing it away. We have to reduce using chemicals or the amount of waste that we produce every day. And we go for paperless work. And at this time of pandemic, we have to donate unused things. Thank you.
Yeah.
They're really so fashionable, no? I like his. I noticed.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I noticed, yeah, it's his suit, no, it's pink, and I liked it. Even the face mask is so fashionable. But focusing on his answer, it's also so nice to hear about going paperless, reducing our paper consumption. Because guys, our trees are so important. The Amazon forest is burning. So many of our rainforests are burning. And I hope that we realize that paper comes from trees and we have to protect our rainforest. So we've witnessed a lot in the past year. We've had the typhoon, we've had the floodings. And I hope that really also realize how important it is to protect our trees. Right, G?
Exactly. I mean, I completely agree with you. First of all, he's super fashionable. It's the first thing I noticed. But I love the different ideas that he gives on how to live a more sustainable lifestyle. So as you mentioned, going paperless was so important to him. For me too, that is so important. I pretty much have no paper at home because everything's digital now too, and it really does make a huge difference. You'll see it in your trash. You'll have less and less trash to throw away if you try to go paperless. He also talks about donating things at this point. So that's super helpful too. It doesn't have to be donating to strangers, but you can reuse things from family, from friends, just to make sure you're not just throwing random things away. He had wonderful ideas. For me as a fitness instructor, spending more time outdoors is an undermined way to live more sustainably too. I mean, I've seen it in myself. Recently, I've been working out outside with some of my friends, and then when we go around the city, we use scooters or bikes, and it makes a huge difference too with our carbon footprint. So I feel like these are things that we have to keep in mind, and maybe we'll get some more tips with our next video, so we have someone else answering that question.
Hello, good day. My name is Christopher Ken Orai is Yamagami, and I'm back again at Miss Philippines Earth Man on the Street segment. Ways to live more sustainably at home. Tips on how to live more sustainably. Number one, sustainability is not one time practice, it is something that we can do consistently. Number two, sustainability should be consistent practice. Three, we should stop the ningas kugon. It's our bad Filipino mentality. Number four, energy consumption and waste management. Sustainability is not the solution, but is an important element to realize the solution in our lives. If the solution measured by one-time action, but a consistently events of action. Also, it should be part of our daily life routine, and that's when we can really say that we achieve sustainability. At home, I use LED bulbs, the light emitting diode, in and around home. So this is my LED bulb, okay? Also, I use the solar. This is the solar sensor wall light. To solve your on-the-go needs, purchase a few water bottles in reusable cups. Try to avoid also using plastic straws and one-time use plastics. So this is my some of my reusable water bottles, plastic cups. Okay? Also, we have the Paper Energy Star appliances. Start the good compost bin in your yard. Avoid disposal items and use clothes shopping bag instead of getting plastics or paper bags at the store. Also, this is one of my favorite eco bag. I use it whenever I go to department store and run my grocery. Okay? While a broad concept, sustainability basically boils down to understanding the impact that we have on Earth and what we leave for our future generations. We know that sustainability can encompass a number of things from recycling to gardening and being resourceful with products and items that we use. Thank you so much. God bless. Bye bye.
Yeah, he was really prepped with a presentation. I absolutely love the dedication of the people that we're interviewing on Man on the Street. I mean, he had samples, he was dressed for the part, but that was absolutely amazing. Now, when it comes to his message, I feel like that's so important too. I mean, it's the simple things like even changing our light bulbs, finding ways to incorporate solar energy in our homes, and if we do end up with plastics, finding a way to reuse them, because sometimes it is inevitable as much as we try to, stay away from it. Sometimes we get it. So trying to reuse those plastics in a way as well is a creative way to do it. So yeah, I loved all of his tips and his entire point of how living a sustainable lifestyle just starts from our home, and then that's when we really send the message out to everybody else around us.
That's so true. In my mind, when I saw him, I just said, wow, he looks so dapper. And the content of his answer is also amazing. And I have to say, when I was listening to him, I completely agreed with the fact that he was zeroing on two values, right? The value of consistency, and second, the value of avoiding procrastination. And I think that's two of the most important values that we have to remind ourselves. So if we really want to live a sustainable life, if you really want to do that, you need to make it a decision, something that you keep on making as a decision in your life every single day. And you cannot say bukas na, mamaya na, or next month when I feel like I can do this without plastic in my life, or any other excuse that comes in your mind on why you haven't started doing the most basic of all the sustainable living tips that we've discussed, And for me, I think it's wonderful that we get reminded that, yeah, we have all these different tips, but really at the core is really about commitment. And I hope that a lot of our Earthlings right now can make that commitment. And that's my key takeaway from the whole segment today. I hope that we remember this word commitment. We have commitment to our friends, to our family, to our jobs, and then we must not forget our commitment to our only and irreplaceable home, which is our planet Earth. And of course, since it's almost Mother's Day, she's also, our ultimate mom. And I hope that we can remember to celebrate her by at least dedicating or committing yourself to at least one or two simple ways to start living sustainably. How about you, G? Your key takeaway?
Yeah, I want to have a parallel with yours. That you said commitment is your key takeaway. For me, it's really consistency. I mean, when I think in the beginning, especially of the pandemic, we all wanted to save Mother Earth and saw the skies clearing, and that's when we started to find ways to live more sustainably. But when we're overcome with a situation like the pandemic is worsening, it's so easy to forget about our environment because we're so busy taking care of ourselves, and we have to remind ourselves that that goes hand in hand, that we can take care of ourselves and our environment as well. And I said this in my intelligence round during our pageant last year. We have that intergenerational responsibility to our future in providing them a safe and healthy and clean home, and it's really up to us. For me, I feel like I did my part as an ego angel when I talk to the marginalized communities, find ways to give back to them. But I feel satisfied as well when it starts in my own home. My parents finding their own ways to live more sustainably, being inspired by discussions like these. My friends, being so turned off by the use of plastics, not ordering from companies that use too much plastics. It really starts with the people around you, and that's when you can continue to branch out to get that message around that it's really up to us to save our environment. It's in our hands. So I hope that this conversation that we had today is a conversation that you can continue with all of your family and friends. Thank you to all of our Earthlings that sent in their answers, not just for today's episode, but for our past few episodes as well. This is a very special show, and it's near and dear to our hearts. I'm sure you feel the exact same way, so I'm so happy with all of the conversations that we generated with these past few episodes. Do you have anything to say about our final Man on the Street episode?
Well, I have to say, I have to thank the following people who sent their videos. Thank you, Angel from Cotabato, Arjo from Masbate, may kababayan, Bicolano, RV from Leyte, and Antoinette from Palawan. These people really are gracious enough to send these videos and be active in their participation with Miss Philippines Earth. And I want to thank everybody, our dear Earthlings, who have been with us all the way, and just listening and taking all these lessons to heart. Because this is really what Miss Philippines Earth is all about. This is about discussing topics, having the discussions that we need to have, especially in the middle of the pandemic right now.
Yes, that's absolutely perfect. And if you guys are wondering why is this your last episode, well, it's because we're getting ready to welcome our newest batch of Miss Philippines Earth delegates. So I believe that the screening starts next week already on May 12th at 1 p.m. You can watch it live on our Facebook page. You can get to meet these lovely delegates who could potentially be your next Miss Philippines Earth and next batch of Elemental Queens. Please stay tuned for that by checking out all of our social media accounts. So we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we even have TikTok, we have YouTube, Twitter. So please do check it out. And we have an app that we're working with as well. So why don't you tell our lovely viewers about the Ecosystem app?
Yes, dear Earthlings, if you haven't, then you should now go to Google App or iOS Apple Store and check out Ecosystem. It's our new app that is partnering with Miss Philippines Earth that is sure to give you a more interactive way to be able to participate in Miss Philippines Earth 2021. Watch out as we release more content like ways to live a more sustainable life. We will be releasing a lot of environmental related topics through that app, and we will also be having our activities on that app. You will be able to get to know our candidates, get to know perhaps the outgoing queens. Oh my god, my heart hurts saying those words, Jana. Our outgoing elemental queens, and of course our Miss Philippines Earth, Roxy, and it also will be a way for us to be able to share with you exciting prizes and exclusive merch which I will show now because I'm still in love with this bucket hat. The bucket hat from Ecosystem, which actually contains our branding for Miss Philippines Earth, and you will have the chance to get your own exclusive merch if you download and join the raffle that is available when you get the app. So get the app today. It's Ecosystem. It's very simple, very easy, and also a very handy way for you to find out how you can be a better earthling, a better caretaker for our planet.
Yes, we're so excited about that app, and it is available on both Android and iPhones. So please do check it out and let us know what you think about it. If there's any features that you feel like we can add, we would love to know because we're going to continue to develop that and be a part of that. So please do check it out. Once again, thank you to everybody that was a part of our Man on the Street episodes. We had so much fun filming this and just getting to know the opinions of our fellow Filipinos. It's so important for us as well, with the things that we stand for, with the things that we fight for, that we know how all of you feel. So it was a great deal for us to hear what you have to say. Thank you for being a part of that. And I feel like I've always been saying this during my Miss Philippines Earth journey, and it's particularly applicable with today's episode. Remember that every small action can create a bigger, positive, and beautiful reaction. So let's use every opportunity to make that change. Once again, my name is Gianna Llanes. I'm your Miss Philippines Water 2020.
And of course, this has been Miss Philippines Air 2020, Patricia Santos. Always reminding you to challenge yourself, your communities, to become better caretakers of this planet. Love you and see you on our next videos. We have a lot in store for you the coming few days. So watch out, and I hope you guys are as excited as much as we are.
Yes, see you all then.